Hi, I'm Suede from the Rarely Seen Animania and from Suede's Stream of Consciousness. Welcome to the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode celebration live stream!
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode celebration live stream! So, did I mute it all together? Hello? There we go. I don't know if the muting thing actually made a difference. This was different last night. How well can you hear me now? Apparently when I switched back, it got weird. Can you hear me now? And do I sound like a robot? Okay, hearing me fine now. Okay, so maybe the mute button actually is working now. Last night it wasn't working. It was just going, it was doing this weird thing where it was making it sound like a robot. So hopefully that's not happening right now when I'm talking. This is weird. That's the thing that we're going to announce first of all with this live stream. This is the first time I've ever tried to do anything like this. So I apologize in advance if, technical difficulties, they're going to happen. We're going to try to muddle through them as best as we can. Nash is here for a good chunk of the stream, not all of it, but he'll be around enough, hopefully, to get through any kind of technical issues that we have. Now, a few things I should talk about. A majority of the content for the next 8 hours, and yes, we're going for 8 hours, because 6.5 hours worth of episodes. Whatchamajigger. A lot of extra content in between episodes, and then the 1 hour Q&A. So we're going to be having some issues to work out through this, and it's going to be a long stream. Thank you to everyone who sticks with me through the whole thing. I understand completely if you don't want to. I am recording this using Fraps, so yeah, it'll be fine to get all that back and to record that and put it all out there and whatnot. I've got the chat window up on the Justin TV stream, so I should be able to see everyone talking during that. And now I think it's time to get this stream properly started. Here's how this is going to work. I'm also going to introduce each episode. You will notice I'm not looking at the camera during these bits because I have a Word document in front of me with introductions for each of the episodes, and some of them have a post scene. So, I will not be adding the chat to the recorded video because I can't record that. Sorry. And hopefully this is actually recording. Oh dear, I'm using Fraps right now for that. I've never tried to switch off. I'm pretty sure it should because it's only recording from the open broadcasting software stream. Anyway, let's get things going with the number 10 on the list of the top 10 fan favorite episodes. We begin our top 10 with an episode that, by the votes, actually should be number 9. However, the reason why it was bumped back is that it is not technically an Atop the Fourth Wall episode. In fact, I perform no actual narration during the comic review portions, although the character of Linkara does, sort of. It's included in the episode archive list on the website because it contains storyline elements to it that have a major impact on later episodes. The video contains a comic that, at the time, I had been seeking out for a while because I had heard from others how insane and poorly drawn it was. Fortunately, a colleague of mine had discovered the comics himself and offered them to me for a review. But when he read over them himself, he convinced me that it should work better as a crossover. He was right. And the product was one of the funniest damn reviews I've ever seen or been a part of. Number 10 on the fan favorite episodes is Warrior number 1.
Harvey Finevoice was originally conceived to have his own show. It would have been called Classy Comic Reviews and featured Harvey in a dark, smoky room talking about event comics. A 3-page script was written on the subject of Crisis on Infinite Earths, but the project never got off the ground. You're watching the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode celebration live stream.
Hello, I'm Film Brain for Bad Movie Down Projector wearing a hat because you're watching the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode anniversary live stream. Woo! 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 Woo!
And now, excerpts from the Super Dictionary with that guy with the hat. Butterfly. I can fly faster than that butterfly. I can fly faster than that insect with large colored wings. Butterflies are pretty, but they are too slow for me.
Hey everyone, Pat here. I just wanted to wish Lewis congratulations on 300 episodes of Atop the Fourth Wall. Looking forward to 300 more, or you make devil dinosaur jokes or whatever it is you do on your show. But seriously, that's an accomplishment. I'm jealous. I'm lazy. I think in 6 years I've done 51 Pat the NES Punk episodes. To do 300 is unfathomable. You should be proud. Enjoy the moment. Not sure how you're not burnt out yet. You will be soon. I don't know why I'm saying that during your 300th episode celebration. I should be happy or more positive. Not that you'll be found face down, in a pile of comics that you can't stand, trying to make fun of the, Beavis and Butthead comic from like 95. Have you done that one yet? Maybe. Did you do the Ren and Snippy one with the scratch and sniff? I had that one as a kid. What else did I have as a kid? You know what? I had a lot of She-Hulk comics because she was green and cute. Man, that's why I like broccoli so much now.
And we're back over to live. Oh, warrior. Warrior, 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 warrior. Warrior. That was Pat the NES Punk right there. He's a video game reviewer, and he's an awesome one. In fact, he's like one of the few people who's done like a full actual crossover with the AVGN. That's fun. And of course, that's just a sample of the kind of stuff we have in between the episodes. Stuff like insights from other video producers, trivia from me. That's the most basic of the trivia stuff I'm giving away, mostly because some of these trivia bits go on for like a full minute, and I couldn't keep talking, so you'll see me cutting to video footage for some of those. You're watching the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode celebration live stream. I do apologize about VLC resizing on some videos. That shouldn't happen too often because most of these are all in the right aspect ratio, but I'm sticking around anyway to keep track of that, so it shouldn't be an issue. So far, things seem to be going pretty well, and I'm assuming you can all hear me right now. The real problem is that I have M set up as the mute microphone button. So every single time I hit M, the problem being that OBS is picking up any time I hit M, even when it's not clicked on the OBS thing right there. So anytime I'm trying to type into the chat, I hit M, I have to hit M again because it immediately mutes and then unmutes the microphone. But I'm assuming everyone can hear me because nobody's complaining about it. So far, we have, how many viewers? I'm just curious here. We have 951 right now. We are over 900. That's always fun. And I'm sorry to all the people who, unfortunately, have had difficulties getting in. Mostly, it seems to be an international problem because Justin TV might be a regional thing. I'm so very sorry about that. But hey, like I said, I'm recording this for posterity, so that's good. And yeah, that was Warrior number 1. It's still one of the funniest damn videos I've ever seen us do, and I'm so damn happy to do so. That didn't come out right, but yeah, Warrior number 1, I love it. Good times. It's still funny. I think I rewatched it like 3 times when it first came out, and I injured myself doing that elbow drop at the end. like half of my body went off of the bed because I was landing on the bed to soften the blow, and I bent myself. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I recovered like within an hour afterwards. Oh me, oh my, oh me. But this live stream is going to go for still another 7.5 hours. So let's move on to our next episode. We continue the top 10 with an episode combining a comic that is very, very stupid with a storyline that is very, very dramatic. This episode caused a lot of confusion among some fans because the narrative wasn't straightforward. Like the franchise it was attempting to emulate, the idea was to be vague, but assumed the viewership was intelligent enough to figure it out from the details provided. For the most part, that succeeded, a testament to my viewers, I must say. This is a very important episode of the show, finally giving the gruesome details of the Magic Gun's creation, but also, for the first time, shows Lord Vice from the torso up. The reason for the secrecy there was that Vice's costume wasn't finished until a month or two prior to this episode, so allowing for some build-up before his reveal was necessary. It's also the point where Dr. Linksano rejoins the action after he fled in the first Tandy Computer Whiz Kids review. And of course, the episode features some rather dramatic acting on my part, and the bravery of Iron Liz for putting on a lot of uncomfortable attire. Whether or not the attempts at drama are convincing or laughable is up to you, but regardless, this episode is a big one. Number 9 of the fan-favorite episodes is Silent Hill, Dead Alive, number 5. There's a moment in Silent Hill, The Grinning Man, where the show transitions into the other world, and Holokara looks around in frustration and shouts, "Really? You know it's not going to top last year," or something to that effect. It was really my attempt to acknowledge what I thought the fans would be saying, that there was no way in hell that the storyline for the final run of Silent Hill episodes would be as good as the ones from Silent Hill Dead Alive. The thing is that so many of these kinds of stories try to top what they did beforehand that it just makes a mess. And you read about people who decided to stop the stories they were producing because they felt they'd reached their peak and it would never be better than that they never top what they did before. I take the attitude that it's not about whether you top yourself, but rather that you can still tell good stories. And I just hope that I've succeeded in telling good stories for this long. We'll be right back with number 8 on the countdown in just a moment.
What I like about Atop the Fourth Wall is Lewis and his full package. I mean, he's got the comedy acting down. He's got the voices for the comics that hit just the right note for the show. He can piece together the nerd pastimes into a big coherent whole and then beat a comic to death with it. He puts it together to get that little stinger on the end, to just sell that joke, you know, that little on the end. And he makes hats look really good. I mean, like really, really good. Like Robert Stack would envy him if he saw him. But he's not just the comic, you know. He's the... You know the old saying, I don't know art, but I know what I like? Well, I know art, and I know what I don't like. And then he can tell you why. In a way that not a lot of people could either and would be jealous of. Like Robert Stack. But yeah, I'm not going to tell you your crap while we all laugh. I'm going to explain to you just how crap you truly are, so you'll understand how much you deserve our mocking laughter. Thank you, sir. May I have another should be the response of comic book publishers every time he does a show. But anyway, congratulations, Lewis, on hitting the big 300.
And now, excerpts from the Super Dictionary with that guy with the hat. Cake. Conjura had a cake on her birthday. She had a sweet food made from flour, eggs, and milk, and baked in an oven. Cakes are good to eat, even when it isn't your birthday. Poyo Poyo was originally constructed for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 fanvid back in 2005. I was inspired to do the fanvid because MST3K episodes were no longer going to be played on the Sci-Fi Channel, and I learned how simple the chroma key for the theater riffing segments really was. As such, I envisioned myself as the host alongside two robots, Poyo and Tony. Tony was meant to resemble a mailbox and has long since been dismantled. Poyo, however, was much easier to keep in one piece, and so stuck around on top of a shelf until I needed him in Atop the Fourth Wall. The colors of the two cardboard robots were supposed to parallel Tom Servo and Crow, who were red and gold respectively. While the fanvid was full of very bad lighting, sound, and film quality, it is still available as a bootleg among fans. Some of my favorite jokes from the riff got recycled into my review of the Star Trek The Motion Picture comic adaptation.
What we got back didn't live long.
But it was delicious.
What we got back didn't live long, but it was delicious.
You're watching the Atop the Fourth Wall 300th episode celebration livestream.
Oh, that MST3K thing. I labeled it as Season 11, Episode 1. But yeah, it's, that was a thing. The audio quality on it is simply atrocious. I couldn't stand it. I mean, I have a hard enough time rewatching old episodes of mine because of that static sting in the background. It's still, and trying to rewatch the fan MST3K thing I did, that's, ugh. And JF Otaku, you did listen to that trivia, right? Because it said that Tony's been long since deconstructed. Sorry. No one pays attention to anything I say. Oh, but whatever. I mean, this is like this when I announced the stream, too. I specifically said in the video, this is going to get recorded for posterity later, and like a dozen comments later, it was just, are you going to record this later? Are you going to record this later? Are you going to record this later? But yeah, that was a fun time. I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed doing the thing. I haven't seen either Adam or Tony in years. Adam Smith being the guy who played Poyo in that, as well as the doctor. I can't remember what I named him in that. And yeah, basically, I didn't really rent, but I borrowed the school theater. They let me film in there because I figured, hey, they have a big white screen that comes down. I can record the thing from that. And they tried to adjust the lighting as best they could, and we were hoping they could record the audio from us recording the thing there. It didn't work out that way, so instead it got nothing. Well, I think it's time to move on to the next episode. Like the last episode on the countdown, this episode features a lot of stupid comic and a lot of dramatic storyline, although not quite on the same emotional level as before. For several months, Lord Vice had been initiating small-scale operations against Linkara. Linkara had been kidnapped by Lord Vice after he had detected so much interdimensional crossing in this universe to study him, learn about him, and ultimately destroy him. Linkara had fought the Vorsaw, a creature under the employ of Vice to conquer universes that even he could not venture into. And as we saw in the last episode on the list, Mechakara had joined forces with him and initiated a plan to psychologically destroy Linkara. The storyline was coming to a close, and it was time for Lord Vice himself to enter the action and finally let all that build-up for his character come to pass. Number 8 on our fan-favorite episodes list is Justice League, Cry for Justice, number 5 through 7. Will Wolfgram, who you may know as Jarrus the Gunslinger or Snowflame, is the suit actor for Lord Vice. The voice for the Conqueror is provided by me, but with lots of modulation. Will is actually quite proficient in stage fighting and some martial arts, and he offered to show some of that off while playing Vice. However, I turned him down on that idea. Vice is a character who is quite clearly more powerful than Linkara in every regard. As such, I felt that, in Vice's eyes, Linkara was more of an annoyance than a serious threat, and it wouldn't make any sense for him to be wasting his energy on someone so inferior to him. And thus all he did was block, backhand Linkara, and then proceed to beat him to death with no effort on his part. The beginning of the end for the storyline came here, and eventually Vice was defeated. For the time being, anyway. We'll be right back with number 7 in just a moment.